Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. This is episode 41. Last time we went high dragon hunting in Emprise du Lion, and today we're going back to the War Council as per usual to check in with our advisors, send them off on some missions, and I think we're going to dive into something different today. So something that has been sitting on this map for a very long time over on the Ferelden side is disaster in the deep roads and investigating the Frostback Basin. I think we're going to do some Dragon Age Inquisition DLC today. We're going to dive into something a little bit different. So let's check in with our characters and see what they've got to do, and then we can send Josephine on another one of those missions, and then mix it up a little bit. Put some DLC in there instead of going back through another location and doing some quests. I feel like I need that. So helping the people of Sarnia, Mistress Poolin's supplies have reached Sarnia. Food and clothing are being divided amongst the populace according to need. In thanks, the town has given the Inquisition several tons of their best granite as building material. And a favor returned. My dear Ambassador, please convey our heartfelt thanks to the Herald for the kind gift to young Baldwin, Andraste and the Wyvern. It's his favorite bedtime story, and the stuffed Wyvern toy has already become his most favored companion. We are shocked that news of the Inquisition's formation did not reach us for so long. We would be most interested in offering our support for your holy cause, and shall be sending an emissary directly. Cordially, Wilhelm Augustin. Enclosed is a drawing of young Baldwin as done of himself and the Herald riding wyverns. I am to convey that his wyvern's name is Bernd and the Herald's is Otto. Amazing. Do we get to see that? Show me the drawing. Okay, now, I think there was dealing with Lord Basil, but then there's also stopping the rumors. So we're going to stop the rumors with Josephine.
Inquisitor.
We'll have her do that. And then Josephine's got another mission to do with Lord Basil. Wonderful. Okay, so over in Ferelden, we have Frostback Basin and Disaster in the Deep Roads. Now, this one's cheaper, so part of me wants to imagine this one comes first. I don't know, but it's cheaper. That's the only reason why I think that might be the one. So let's have a look. And we have a minimum suggested level to go into this one. Actually, this is a good idea to gauge it. 20. And doesn't say. Okay. So there's one where it says, here's a level suggestion, and the other one doesn't give you one. To Ambassador Josephine Montilier, thank you so much for your earlier correspondence. I confess it's been difficult to get those in Orlais to take this discovery seriously in light of recent events, but I am positive that scouting the Frostback Basin will yield historic discoveries beneficial to both the academic field and the Inquisition. As a staunch supporter, I am honored to be working in such great company on this historic occasion. Yours most sincerely, Professor Bram Kenrick of the University of Orlais. Cool. And then, what does this description say? The Inquisition has received an urgent request for aid from Orzammar. Subterranean earthquake has collapsed over one of their lyrium mines and endangered several others. Even worse, tunnel seals preventing Darkspawn from overrunning the Dwarven-occupied deep roads have crumbled, allowing hordes of the enemy to invade. Orzammar is a key provider of the Inquisition's lyrium supplies, and as such, its security is a top priority. The earthquake opened a fissure in the Stormcoast Mountains, granting direct access from the surface to the threatened region underground. Constructing a mining lift at the fissure site will permit the Inquisition to transport forces directly to where Darkspawn fighting is fiercest. Now, I believe with these being the little triangle, little pyramid ones, it should open up a new location, I think. At your discretion, I can hire a team of their best construction workers right away. I know where to find people who can build a mining lift, and we need to move quickly. Okay. We'll just do that. It doesn't really matter. We'll have Josephine do this. Okay. A construction team arrived in the Stormcoast Mountains and set up a mining lift to transport Inquisition forces from the earthquake fissures opening down into the deep roads. A report sent by Messenger Bird. Inquisitor. The mining lift in the Storm Coast Mountains will be finished by the time you get here. Anyone going into the deep roads should dress accordingly. Don't skimp on the armor and bring the best weapons in Skyhorde's arsenal. I also recommend packing plenty of dry rations. Most things down there will be looking to eat the Inquisition, not the other way around. Cool. And investigate Frostback Basin. We'll do this as well. We've scouted the region and set up camp. Professor Kenrick has the scouts gathering anything they can find. So far, we've uncovered a lot of very old buckles. Hopefully this yields something more exciting. Anyone who comes here should be ready for hostile wildlife and angry Avar. This place is dangerous. Cool. Alright, that's done. Now, I'm not sure if that adds anything to my journal. It does. It do. So, deep roads, disaster in the deep roads, and then what would be the other one? Where is it closest to? It's not in here in the same way that I don't think it's in here. Okay. We got a codex unlocked, though. A note on Orzammar. Inquisitor. As you've already heard, Orzammar has urgent need of our services. The underground earthquakes in the deep roads threaten to cave in countless lyrium mines. If this happens, it would all but cut off the supply of lyrium to the surface. I don't need to tell you how many former Templars in the Inquisition rely on that lyrium. It is imperative that we remain in Orzammar's good graces. Their politics may not require as much finesse as the grand game law lay, but dwarven society can be just as perilous. Orzammar is one of 2 remaining taigs that once made up their empire, and its citizens are a proud people who are accustomed to hardship and lean heavily on tradition. The dwarf's caste means everything. While you are not travelling to the capital itself, you'll be dealing with a representative from its shaperate. I am told her name is Valta, and her father is a highly respected member of the Smith caste. Liliana has discovered little else about her, which isn't surprising, considering how tightly Orzammar holds its secrets. I caution you to treat the representative with the utmost respect. We are dealing with a proud people with long memories. Once a grudge is held, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about rocks and dwarven stubbornness. Josephine, lovely. I kind of wish that we were able to go back to Orzammar to see what we did there back in Dragon Age Origins with Balin and how society is faring over there. Like, I feel like that would be a really cool place to revisit. Same with Denerim. I just think that there's some locations in Dragon Age Origins that I would love to be able to see ourselves, especially because Dragon Age 2 is so far removed from Ferelden. Would have been nice. That's okay. We're not going to the capital itself, but we do have Disaster in the Deep Roads and then the Frostback Basin. So let's travel to the Frostback Basin. And I don't even know who to take with us. Let me actually pull up the codex. Places. Have we got a Tale of the Frostback? So this is like Avar related. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth, the mountain father, kept his throne at the peak of Belarus. So it's like very Avar related. Just trying to, I don't know what we're to expect here, you know what I mean? So I don't know who to take. It'll be a fun adventure, regardless. Let's see. I might take... I'll take my mage boy. I wonder if do the Qunari know much or have much to say about the Avar? Might bring Iron Bull along as our warrior. Actually, I kind of want to bring Blackwall out again because we haven't had him since the Tom Rainier stuff. So let's do Blackwall, and then as a rogue, we're gonna take Varric to the Deep Roads because he'd love that. But I'll take Varric to the Deep Roads. So I think for my rogue, we'll bring Cole. That'll be my trio. I don't really have much thought into like, who should I bring here? You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of going with an assortment.
Good to see you again, Inquisitor. Allow me to introduce Professor Bram Kenrick. He's the reason we're out here.
A pleasure to meet you, Your Worship.
Professor Kenrick teaches at the University of Orlais.
I came on an exchange program from Starkhaven. While in Val Royeaux, I've found something incredible. After 800 years, we may be able to determine the final resting place of the last Inquisitor.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Hooray! I studied Inquisitor Ameridan.
The texts say that Inquisitor Ameridan was a dragon hunter who vanished on his last expedition.
Yes, precisely. I see you've read Lautrec's Precursors to the Chantry. Inquisitor Ameridan stepped down shortly before the Nevarran Accord brought the Seekers of Truth into the Chantry. He hunted demons, dragons, and dangerous apostates in a time before Templars even existed.
I'm all for history if it means tracking down the equipment of a famous demon hunter.
That sounds cool. Loot sounds good.
Scout Harding, you had me at equipment.
Thought you might like that.
Your scouts have gathered artifacts from the area. They may help us discover what Inquisitor Ameridan was doing.
I have news as well. We've encountered hostile Avar to the north. They call themselves the Jaws of Hakkon. There's also an Avar hold to the east. Unlike the Jaws of Hakkon, they've been friendly so far.
The Jaws of Hakkon?
They're hostile Avar who attack any Inquisition agents or researchers who get close. We've sent soldiers for defense, but the Hakkonites are cunning, merciless, and know the Basin better than we do. I'm afraid our men will not be able to hold out long.
Okay.
I thought we could catch up.
Of course.
Wow, we can actually just have a chat. That's new. I'm assuming this is like, because this is our first dive into, I guess, Inquisition DLC, so they have a chance to update and change some things. So this usually happens whenever we've dived into BioWare DLC. You're like, oh, this is new. There's like some cool things that change and update. Also, you have to forgive me because recently I've been having some throat troubles, so like needing to like clear my throat and talking is like annoying. So just I'll apologize in advance if I'm not like super chatty with my voice, okay? Because it's like one of those type of situations right now.
Have you spoken to Kenrick much?
A bit. He's quite nice, isn't he? And clever. Really loves his books. I said hello one day while he had his nose buried in a giant tome. His shriek was a winner. I can't stop doing it now. It's too funny.
How do you like the Frostback Basin?
It's lovely, isn't it? At least until you step in a pile of bogfish or poo. The stuff's vile. It makes great fuel for starting fires, though, if you can tolerate the smell. Ugh. I might suggest that to the commander. It could be great for sieges.
You want to use animal crap as a weapon? That seems underhanded.
Who said war was fair? I'd only recommend its use as a last resort.
I love that Harding is like, catapult poop at them.
What are your thoughts about our progress against Corypheus?
We're getting close. It feels like we're on the right track, doesn't it? Everyone working together against a common goal. It feels good.
They say you grew up in a village. Where did you learn how to fight? Draw a bow? All that?
Here and there. You pick things up as a little dwarf girl in a village filled with piggish Ferelden boys. I'm no artist with a blade. I just know what hurts and what takes them down quick. Bruised a shin or two in my day, and a few, other things. And archery? There was a traveling hunter who set me up with my first bow and taught me the basics. After that, I practiced on my own. On squirrels, mostly. Oh, and Heinrich from next door, but only with padded arrows.
I hear you have family in Ferelden.
Yes, my mother and father. I insisted they moved to Denerim once I signed up with the Inquisition. Ambassador Montilier tells me I should invite them to Skyhold. She thinks they'd be proud of me. But after Haven, I just can't, you know? It's not that I don't trust you or our soldiers, it's just... I just want them to be safe. And if that means they don't get to see things firsthand, that's okay. My mother likes writing letters anyway.
What do you think about the Avar?
When I was a little girl, a lady in our village used to tell me Avar tales. Being able to see their lives up close, it's nothing like I thought. They're very tall, aren't they? I was considering a proposal for Commander Cullen. Avar allies with dwarven archers astride their shoulders. They'd be unstoppable.
Dwarven archers at the top, that's amazing. We've seen some of when we were in, what was that area called? Way down the bottom. A little while ago now. I can't remember the name. Something Oasis? Forgotten Oasis? No. No, that's a different area. It's not that.
We'll continue this another time.
Goodbye then.
I've forgotten. What is this place? What is this place? The Fallow Mire. There you go. Starts with an F, guys. We were close enough. Okay, we got some camps, and we've got the Jaws of Hakkon and the Avar allies. I feel like we should go to the allies first. Now that the Inquisition has established a presence in Frostback Basin, Professor Kenrick has a lead on Inquisitor Ameridan, and Scout Harding can outline potential risks in the region. Okay. I'm wearing my brand new armor, and I've forgotten to customize its coloring, but that's okay. What are those noises? 22 regions. What is this? The hinterlands? Another giant location for us to uncover. Alright, I love how I'm like, alright guys, today we're gonna go somewhere different and not explore a new region. And then, obviously, we are exploring a new region, but it's different, okay? It's not the same. Okay, let's have a look through here. There's a bunch of stuff for us to read, so I will try my best. A neatly penned note. Professor Bram Kenrick. The requested supplies have been sent to your current location from the university, including additional ink, books on Ameridan, and 3 Divine Age buckles for purposes of comparison. And yes, upon your return, you may say I told you so in regards to my saying your collection was useless. Everything should arrive shortly after you. Of course, roads still aren't what they were. Also, I fed that fish, but I'm not talking to it for you. Okay. The talking fish, okay? A baffled note. A note affixed to a book entitled Sir Lothair Verney de Rey's Victory and Dominion. Lady Harding, I could use the opinion of an expert. Though impressive, the victory outlined on the marked page could not have been achieved as stated. Sure it could, if you had enough apples. Harding's great. She's funny. A letter to Harding. I love how this is all just scattered around this camp. My darling Lace. Hope this letter finds you healthy and happy. Last week, I managed to barter for maps of Ferelden and Orlais from Hugin, the old soldier who rents the place on Mistress Johann's farm. You remember him, don't you? Quiet man, always smoking a pipe in his chair on the porch. He wasn't using the maps anymore, so I gave him some of my jam and patched his coat in exchange for them. Now, whenever you tell me of your travels, I'll be able to track where you've been. I'm astounded, my darling, when I look at the weave of dotted trails I've already marked out on my maps. Oh, the places your feet have touched. How far you've gone, my little Lace. I'm so proud of you. When I was your age, I'd only ever gone as far as Lothering. My mother never left Redcliffe. She lived and died there. And now here you are, flying so far with so much purpose. My mind can barely comprehend it. but my heart swells. I shan't take up too much of your time. I know how busy you are. I'm looking at the frostbacks on the map as I write this, because I know you will likely be at your skyhold. Please make sure to dress warmly. I have included the recipe for your favorite turnip goat stew, a taste of home to stave off the cold mountain airs. Kisses and hugs from me and your father. That's wholesome. Some more reading up here. Property of Colette, pages of neatly written, painstakingly detailed notes of a well-worn journal. The notes break midway through a list. Expedition to Frostback Basin, preparations. Reread Finding Ameridan, complete. Review notes on appropriate excavation methods, complete. Practice categorization of minute material artifacts, complete. Read book on Frostback Basin, complete. Practice camping, complete. Note, bring a pillow. Reread an anatomy of various terrible beasts, complete. Learn to fence. Cannot find a willing instructor. Ask brothers for fencing defense lessons, bad idea. Read book on survival and defense, complete. Bring towels, packed. A few idle swirls follow, along with a tiny sketch of an elf defending a stack of papers from various terrible beasts. The caption reads, field work. Okay. Ah, look at this. Some cool stuff there. Questions of accuracy. That moved them against them were halted by the light from her most assured hands. It was then she took her own counsel in ways best not set forth here and led the party away. Did Ameridan's eyes seek hers among those assembled as he relayed the events which led them there? If she stood among us, I did not know her, yet his hand moved slightly at her side, as my own does when my wife is near and I seek wordless comfort in the touch of her fingers. We had all heard the whispers. Did he say her name in the telling? Would he have dared? Times were different. But have they changed so much? Except from the writings of Lord Bescond, first to put to the page in the 48th year of the Divine Age. A letter follows. Kenrick, this is a precise copy. The preceding pages were lost, or removed, ages ago. Bescond makes no further references to this woman, although Ameridan comes up several times later on. Bescond's writings, as they pertain to Inquisitor Ameridan, are not entirely unknown, although you're unlikely to find them among Chantry records. Their validity is largely dismissed. Some have questioned whether the so-called light and council reference magic or holy insight. And of course, Bescond wrote down his impressions many years after the fact. The author's own wife admitted her husband was recalling his youth in the Orlesian capital through nostalgia and age-distorted memory. I believe her admission is part of the official Chantry record. Best of luck, M. Again, it's another, M dot. Is this from Morrigan? Or is there another M? I don't know. Inquisitor Ameridan. What is known about Inquisitor Ameridan would barely fill a page. He was a friend of Emperor Draken. He was Inquisitor when the Seekers of Truth folded themselves into the Chantry as part of the Navaran Accord, their order serving as precursor to the Order of Templars and the Circle of Magi. Shortly after the Accord was signed, between the 22nd and the 24th year of the Divine Age, Ameridan left his position and departed, never to be seen again. These facts alone are undisputed. Everything else is uncorroborated hearsay, broad speculation, or salacious rumor-mongering. Ameridan did not willingly cede Ameridan did not willingly cede power. Draken forced the Seekers of Truth to disband upon pain of death, then removed the Inquisitor rather than suffer rebellion in the new Chantry's ranks. Ameridan was forced to retire due to the still young Chantry's restrictions requiring celibacy, as he was involved in a relationship with a mysterious lady mage that the Chantry erased from history. Ameridan was a rowdy noble who cared more for the raucous entertainment than for the Seekers. He held the position only because Draken wanted a loyal friend commanding the Order, and when the Seekers became part of the Chantry, Ameridan was free to retire to a life of hunting dragons and wenching. Any of these stories may be true, and without more evidence, we have little hope of ever reaching a clear determination. Nevertheless, I would offer a few notes that are often overlooked as scholars delve so deeply into their own historical specialties as to lose key context. Firstly, Emperor Draken, rightly acknowledged as the man who moulded the Chantry into the organization it is today, was a pious man committed to spreading the chant of light and creating a world where magic and men were governed by Andrastian principles. All sources agree that Ameridan was a close friend of Draken, and while it is certainly possible that Ameridan was more pragmatic than pious, it is highly unlikely that Draken would have befriended a figure who was actively opposed to the Chantry, much less tolerated such a man holding a position of power in the growing Orlesian Empire. Secondly, Inquisitor Ameridan was universally acclaimed as a powerful combatant, regardless of his supposed faith or lack thereof. Rumor mongers suggested Ameridan was exiled, ask us to believe that Emperor Draken could see no use for a powerful warrior with years of command experience. Given that the Second Blight had been a fact of Orlesian life for more than 15 years at the time of Ameridan's disappearance, with Darkspawn pouring from the Anderfels into Northern Orlais in growing numbers, it is frankly absurd to suggest Draken would casually dispose of such a military asset. Without further evidence, we may never know more about Ameridan's departure. Nevertheless, I hope that we may eschew the current popular cynicism, at least when obvious evidence against it is presented, to see that his disappearance must have had some other cause. There you go. Now, something that I am thinking of doing with this in mind, reading about this Inquisitor and Seeker history, is I really think that we should swap our party and take Blackwall out and put Cassandra in. I think that's probably going to...
No, that refers to a ring.
I think that's going to work out better, especially if any of that stuff comes up. I think Cassandra could have some cool stuff to say. So we are going to change our party. Like I said, I didn't really have any sort of clue of who I was going to bring for any particular reason, but learning a little bit more about why we're here definitely has me feeling like we should do some more. So I'm going to do some inventory. Oops. I'm going to do some inventory changes because Iron Bull got some decent gear. So I want to make sure I just swap it on over. Take that off. Be naked. I'll give it to you instead. There you go. That looks great. You can actually see the proper details when it's not on Iron Bull. I love how I just keep pressing the wrong button.
I hear you saved the last divine from a dragon assault.
Yes, in my youth, with help.
Nice.
You're not going to press for the details.
Nah, I can see you don't want to talk about it. Bet you look good doing it, though.
Bull flirting with Cassandra. Hello. I think this is the first time I've put them in a party together, and Bull wasted no time. He's like, I want a piece of that. Of that Cassandra. Okay. All right, Bull. Back out with you. I'll have to bring along different groups when I want to pursue some banter later. Because that way what I can do is we can go out into the field and I can be like triple warriors, triple rogues, triple mages, and see what they say to each other. Because here's the thing, if you tend to run along with only doing like a warrior, rogue, and a mage all the time, you're going to miss out on so many interactions with having like multiple warriors, multiple mages, etc., etc. So that was cool. Literally wasted no time for dialogue there. All right, let's speak to the professor.
Scout Harding has an impressive team. Her people brought back a number of artifacts.
We've had bad luck with artifacts before. I hope none of them explode.
What? No, I don't mean magical artifacts. I meant belt buckles and old nails and the like. Barring enchantment, cloth and leather will have long since rotted away. Only metal and stone remain recognizable. Complicating this are recent pieces the Avar left behind, and of course ancient pieces dating back to Tevinter. Fortunately, thanks to some period-specific buckling, I've been able to track our last Inquisitor.
You said there were pieces dating back to Tevinter.
Yes, while it's rare to see Tevinter ruins so far south, the Imperium once had an outpost of some sort here. They might have built it as a ritual site. I'm not sure what military value it could have. In any event, it's muddled up the research slightly, but I've accounted for it.
You lost me at buckling.
You'd think that a buckle was a buckle. But ever since people started belting on weapons, they've been adding bits. One piece here has a dragon engraving. With the alloys of the metals used, it's clearly Tevinter. While this one uses a clasp that wasn't invented until the dawn of the Elysian Empire. And when it comes to historical research, you might say we have to buckle down.
I love the... What's really cool about this is it's not like the most flashy or enticing, engaging stuff from a storyline perspective. Like, you kind of laugh at, like, ah, yes, buckles, you know? But something that I think is really cool is it just helps flesh out the world. It feels so real when you've got, like, you know, archaeologists or, you know, people that are going out and exploring all of these ancient civilizations and societies, and they're, you know, doing the whole thing of, like, cloth and leather, you know, barring enchantment with a waterway, so all we've got left is this. And it's just, like, it's cool that they're talking about, like, time periods of, like, when things come in and from where. Like, it's just a very realistic sort of thing within the world. I think that's really cool. We say to Harding, you had me at equipment. And then we say to Kenrick, you lost me at buckles.
What do you have, Professor?
Everything so far points to the shore not far to the south. There was some sort of battle near the shoreline. They were in a hurry. The scouts reported an island near an Avar fishing camp, but the Avar won't say much about it.
What makes you think the last Inquisitor was fighting?
There's a clasp here common to armorlings. It's clearly torn. That only happens from a heavy shearing blow, like large claws or an axe. Then there's the dagger. Silverite, with a stylized dragon pommel and an inscription reading Cordilis. That dagger had to be a gift from Cordilis Dracon, first Emperor of Orlais. No one would just lose such a thing.
What can you tell me about the Avar fishing camp?
Not much. It's the friendly Avar, not these jaws of Hakkon barbarians. According to the scouts, they wouldn't say much about the area. Likely a local superstition.
I'll find a way to that island and see if there's anything useful there.
Excellent. I'll continue to study what's been found. With luck, we'll both find some answers. Also, one of my research assistants, Colette, was investigating an old structure to the north. I'm not certain it's related to our investigation, but it couldn't hurt to check with her.
Alright, there we go. We've got the Avar allies and worthy of publication. What yet lingers? Okay, we get some quests added. So a few things on the way to the allies. So I guess we'll go here first, on the way, and then we'll get some camps going.
The Wardens wanted to help, but they hurt people instead. You would have sent them away, Cassandra.
I believe it may have been safer, but we cannot know for certain.
If the Inquisition stops helping, where would we go to keep people safe from us?
The Wardens fell. The Inquisition need not follow suit.
The Wardens thought the same. So did the Templars.
Then we must be vigilant.
I didn't realize that the characters could speak during shard searching. How interesting. Are y'all seriously speaking during shard searching time? There you go.
Did you believe the Conclave could achieve peace, Cassandra?
I had hope, as did we all.
The Templars went to war to force mages back into their circles, which the mages would never agree to. What solution could Divine Justinia have offered when all sides rejected compromise?
The war was going nowhere for either side. That they went at all showed they realized this.
Or they believed the other side would relent.
We shall never know now.
An interesting conversation nonetheless.
You're a better seeker than Lambert. You care about everyone.
You knew Lord Seeker Lambert?
I killed him. He cared more about stopping mages than protecting people.
You killed the Lord Seeker?
Pathetic mages. Crush them at Andorral's reach or starve them out. Doesn't matter which. I need an example. Seekers succeeding, seizing power, overthrow the divine, triumphant in the eyes of the Maker.
I am uncertain whether to believe you.
You believe I killed him?
Whoa. Damn. Okay, Cole. Very casual.
What is this? Are the Fishers of Stone Bearhole too rude to share a meal with friends?
Can the jaws...
The Inquisitor! Let her blood bathe the blades of the jaws of Hakkon!
Oh, damn.
Death to the Lowlanders! Glory to Hakkon!
I didn't realize that was going to be a fight. Missed out on some dialogue there. Look at them glowy weapons.
These jaws of Hakkon demanded your death. What do they have against us?
Perhaps the friendlier Avar in the village Harding mentioned can shed some light.
Fisherman Arvid. Arvid.
You are the lowlander they call Inquisitor. I am Arvid Rolfson. Well fought. The fish will feed on fool's heart wine this night. I know not what brings you here, but we have no quarrel, you and I.
How long have you lived in the Basin?
Stone Bear Hole's been here a few generations. I was born further north, but we left before I could remember. It was a good life, until the jaws of Hakkon arrived. They brought trouble with them. People are expecting a raid, but...
You don't agree?
They seem bigger fools than that, for all their boasting. I cannot say what they plan, but it bodes ill.
I find myself in need of a boat. I need to reach that island.
The Lady's Rest.
What?
That island belongs to the Lady of the Skies. The spirits warn us to leave it be.
I don't wish to disturb your lady, but it's important.
If I give you the boat, and you anger the spirits and die, other lowlanders may come for blood. That is trouble for my hold, and not my trouble to take. Go to Stone Bear Hold and speak with my Thane, Svara Sunhair. Get her blessing, and you may sail to Korth's rocky heart, if you wish.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I don't want any trouble, but I need a boat to get to the island.
It's not mine to give, Lowlander. How many wars rage in your lowlands, even now, for foolish cause? I bear you no grudge, but if you sail off to die, your kin will say we caused it. That burden must be borne by a Thane, not a fisherman. Speak to Svara's son here at Stone Bear Hold.
Alright, then time to find the Avar leader, which is with the allies. At the very least, we can fast travel back here, so that's nice. Let's have a look at Worthy of Publication.
Be prepared. There's no telling what trouble we'll find down here. Over there. We must do something.
Lurkers. Lurkers are new. Let's take a look at these. A lurker. You want to hunt lurkers? Alright, then there's a few things you should know. First, they don't just live in caves. Some of the locals call them cave lurkers, but I've seen them in the wastelands, in the marshes, really anywhere you think creatures shouldn't be able to live. Why? Because they eat almost anything, and they eat rarely. When they're not hunting, they curl up in a sort of hibernation to conserve energy. If you can catch them in that state, consider yourself lucky. If not, you'll need to be on your toes. They're quiet when they want to be, you see, hence the lurk part of their name. They hunt in packs, they spit poison. In fact, I've lost more than one fellow because a group of lurkers descended upon him while he took a piss in the bushes. They surround him, paralyze him, and then tear him to pieces, all without the rest of the camp knowing a single thing was going on, not 20 feet away. They do be lurking. Character card. Where you at? Scout Harding. Oh yeah, right. We got Scout Harding, didn't we? That's cool. She gets her own card. Forward camp has been established in the Ferelden hinterlands, and suitable locations for other outposts have been identified. Progress into the area proceeded ahead of projected schedules, thanks to a local volunteer. For further details, read on. Slater was ambushed and overwhelmed by bandits and might have died if not for the timely intervention of Lace Harding, who rescued Slater with 2 well-aimed stones from a sling. Her family Mabari ran off the 3 remaining bandits. Harding and Contessa, the Mabari, escorted Slater back to the forward camp, followed at a distance by a small herd of ambling sheep that once belonged to a neighbour of the Harding family. Once there, she requested a map, which she proceeded to fill out with helpful details, most notably known bandit hideouts and ambush points. Map completed, Lace Harding took her sheep and returned home. We did not expect her to return the next morning, now outfitted with a small bow and leather jerkin, and absent 1 hound and a herd of sheep. Maps are alright, but nothing beats a guide, she said. That was a week ago. She's still here. I took the liberty of offering her a position as a scout. Yours, Charter. Nice. And places should be where we are now. The Frostbacks, correct? Frostback Basin, western approach. Oh, hang on. Whoop. Actually, hang on. Was Scout Harding's... Hang on. Just to make sure I didn't actually skip anything. So that's number 14. No, this was definitely... Cool. Okay. Halvor often arrives around Wintersend, but given the recent weather, I hadn't looked for him, which is why his voice across the market took me by surprise. Lowlander, I was owed a drink on my next visit, and supper, unless you were getting out of your wager? Maybe I was trying to get out of the bet, but I happily paid the bill at the inn that night. I asked Halvor where he'd last travelled, and he said he'd been trading with an Avar hold in Frostback Basin. Then he raised an eyebrow at the look on my face, so I described the stories Uncle told us as children, where brave expeditions get lost in places like the Western Approach, Nahashin Marshes, Frostback Basin. He laughed and admitted it could be a cruel place. He described thick forests, greater than any I've seen, I'm certain, and darkened swamps. His rule for travelling there seemed to boil down to be wary and alert, because everything can kill you. The wildlife is violent, the cliffs are steep, and you must be mindful of the gods' wishes. Here, meaning his Avar gods, of course. The hunting's good, the trade fair, and the Avar hold impressive. But do people really disappear in the forest, I asked. A few lowlanders come through, not sure how many leave after. The last was a joke, but I won't be visiting that hold anytime soon. Letter from a Ferelden merchant to his cousin in Highever. Nice.
Still standing. That's... Oh...
Oh, there's Colette.
Inquisitor. Still finding it difficult to breathe, but I'm not strewn across the landscape, so thank you. I'm Colette, Professor Kenrick's research assistant. I was hoping to conduct a survey of a Tevinter ruin in the hills. I may not have chosen the best route.
You're Kenrick's research assistant, so that makes you a student at the University of Orlais.
It does? Why?
Huh. Interesting. An elf asks an elf a question.
Orlesian institutions aren't always accepting of elves.
We can't all run Inquisitions, but I imagine you've caught whispers behind your back, too. The university accepts those worthy of admission, though elven students are few.
How do you find it there?
It's not easy, but this is what I want. And I like working for Professor Kenrick. Elven research students, where publication's concerned, their work's often deemed not substantial enough for formal credit. But Kenrick cares about people who want to learn. If our research finds an audience, I know my name will be included.
What were you hoping to find at the ruin?
The Tevinter's time here was brief, but their architecture endured, offering shelter, forming landmarks. Ancient Avar would have encountered these structures, which certainly predate Inquisitor Emeridan. Evaluating the ruins could offer insight into the region's history, once I can get set up.
You're still going there?
I've read everything we have on Emeridan, and studied up on new excavation techniques. I won't waste this opportunity. If you've a map, I can show you my destination, if you'd be interested in the findings.
Indeed.
Stay safe.
I will.
Okay, Tevinter Ruins. Up this way. And we have a landmark. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. This is very chill landmark. It's just very normal, you know. A nice place with a dragon skull. And some dragon eggs? Or something that looks like dragon eggs. A bloodstained shrine. We took steps to avoid the Hakkonites and stayed out of their way for the most part. It would have gone uneventfully had Price's inexperience not caused him to leave visible prints in the dirt. The jaws of Hakkon used them to track us, and even Falca cannot throw them off the trail. Persistent bastards! We ended up hiding amidst the mouldy corpses and sun-bleached bones that littered the ground around a strange shrine. It was carved of stone and capped with what looked to be a dragon skull. Thankfully, when the Hakkonites traced us to the shrine, the sight of it made them stop short. They whispered amongst themselves, and their leader seemed to make a small bow of obeisance to the skull. Then they abandoned the chase. We still don't know what it was about that shrine that made the Hakkonites balk. Perhaps we don't want to know. Damn. Okay, let's head on over to the allies.
Cole, do you have any proof about what you claim Lord Seeker Lambert did?
I was there. I didn't need proof.
But he could have been brought to justice. There are rules.
He used rules to hurt people. He always found a way to be right, even when he killed my friend.
You had a friend?
A pretty Templar. She died protecting Reese and me, but she got better.
I don't even want to know what that means.
But she got better. Interesting. Cole, always talking in ways where it's like, what do you mean by this? The mountains. Belenus. According to our legend, Korth, the Mountain Father, kept his throne at the peak of the mountain Belenus, which lay at the center of the world and was so lofty that from it he could see all the corners of the earth and sky. Over time, bold young Avar would challenge each other to scale the mountain of the gods. At first, Korth found this amusing, and he delighted in the valor of their failed attempts to enter his hold. Then Sindri Skybreaker, boldest of the heroes of old, succeeded in climbing to the summit and stood in the hall of the Mountain Father in the flesh. Korth, being a good sport, gave Sindri a hero's welcome. And the mortal returned to the Frostbacks with tales of the feasts and gods and gifts from Korth, and soon more and more heroes were barging into the hall of the Mountain Father, demanding to be showered with honors. Korth grew weary of throwing banquets, and the other gods began to fear his temper. So Korth spoke to the Lady of the Skies and lifted Belenus from the earth into her realm, which could not be reached even by the most intrepid climber, and there he dwells in peace. He's like, fuck, get him out of here. I don't want these people in my house anymore, dude. Get him out. No more feasts. And then Korth moved house. He strapped a bunch of balloons to his mountain and went on a journey.
What is that commotion?
Looks like an execution to me. Oh no. Oh, it's a climb. Oh, cool. I thought this was an execution place. This dude looked like an executioner.
Your climbers seem tired, Thane Sunhair. Or hunting. Is your hold beast well?
We hunt as well as ever, Thane Harrison.
You would be safer under the shield of the jaws of Hakkon.
Ah.
Fisherson has taken victory in sight of the Lady of the Skies. Pav, you owe 4 rams to Hask, not 3.
Ha! Teared his tits.
Wind, lift your oaths to the Lady of the Skies, and hand the rams over come sunrise.
May your people be as strong as your hold beast.
Speak with the hold's leader, okay.
This is not my hold, Lowlander. I will not shed your blood here. You will face the full might of the jaws of Hakkon soon enough.
Alright, mate.
We've heard of your arrival, Lowlanders. Come, share my fire where we might speak. Inquisitor, I am Svara Sunhair, Thane of Stonebear Hold. You have guest welcome here. The Lowlanders have little love for your Dalish clans. I am impressed that you came to lead their Inquisition. You and your people have come far from the safety of the Lowlands.
Cool throne.
Yes, given what we faced getting to your hold, we are nowhere near safety. We have learned that the last Inquisitor may have died here hundreds of years ago. We seek his body.
Giving peace to the dead is a worthy quest. Any help we can offer is yours. Sadly, the jaws of Hakkon will not offer so warm a welcome. You have met their Thane, Gerd Harrofson. I wager you have crossed blades with the jaws of Hakkon in the wilderness. If you would search this place for your Inquisitor's body, they will want you to pay in blood.
Oh yes, I need a boat.
How did you get the name Sunhair?
I was born Svara Janisdottir. For my legend mark, I once fought a battle with my hair on fire.
You lit your hair on fire?
An enemy archer lit my hair on fire. I was locked shield to shield with a foe, and I had no time to douse it. It scared my foes. My hair was braided long enough that I could spare it. It stank worse than goat shit, though.
When I first entered your hold, there was a climbing contest of some sort. What was that?
The test of the lady. We use it to settle disputes when it is not clear who has the right of it. There are others. For the test of the Mountain Father, you battle with verse, while those who favor you hold you aloft. The test of Hakkon is battle, with blunted weapons.
Oh, like, that is not fair.
It seems as fair a way as any to decide such matters.
In many cases, the law is clear. The tests are only for real disputes.
It's not for me to decide. This is not my people.
In finding who is worthy. I decide which test will settle the dispute. I may also ask a warrior whose claim is foolish to climb with stones strapped to his back.
I'd like to hear more about Stonebear Hold.
We are not the largest hold, but our warriors are strong, and our singers are pretty. Words are for boasting around the fireside. You should look yourself, if you will.
I'd like to know more about the Jaws of Hakkon.
They are not the first hold to take that name. All have been foolish. What would you know of them?
What do the Jaws of Hakkon believe that makes them so angry?
A wise man honors each god to its strength. Bjorn Reedbeard for fishing, Rilla of the Fireside for making babies. The Hakkonites care only for Hakkon Wintersbreath, god of war and winter. There is no evil in Hakkon. There are times to fight, but the Jaws of Hakkon care for nothing else. They raid, they fight. Eventually they die and their stories are forgotten. It is the way of things.
You said that there were earlier groups known as the Jaws of Hakkon.
Yes. Many ages ago. They thought of nothing but slaughter glory. They attacked the Lowlanders. Your people fought back and destroyed them. They were fools.
What can you tell me of the people now calling themselves the Jaws of Hakkon?
They came here a few years ago, after the Blight took their hold. There was land enough for both, so we were friendly. We did not see their anger. Gerd Harrofson lost too many in his hold to Darkspawn. He thought only of battle and war. To avenge a wrong is a good thing, but only a fool lights the world on fire to do it.
I will speak with you later.
Fair hunting.
I need a boat.
Inquisitor?
New operations available.
The Hakkonites are attacking my people. I would welcome any assistance you could offer.
Bathing my blade in the blood of the Hakkonites would be cause for a feast for most in this hold. The Hakkonites are fools, and they have forgotten the old ways. But we have pledged peace with them. To attack with Lowlanders at our side would make us oathbreakers. This is poor weather for me to ask that of my hold.
What?
What would change the weather?
Among the Avar, a hold draws strength from its hold beast. They are as kin to us. When our hold beast is strong and happy, there is joy. When it sickens and dies, it is an ill omen. Our bear, Storvacker, has not been seen in days. The hold fears for her. I cannot ask the hold to break peace oaths unless Storvacker returns.
Okay. So about me and bears.
Does Storvacker usually live in the hold? Does she stay in a pen, or...?
Pens are for goats and chickens, not holdkin. The Avar are free. So must be our hold beasts. Storvacker lives in a cave near the hold. She comes to visit if she wishes to see us. We bring her gifts of food. Not enough that she will not hunt for herself.
Maybe I shouldn't bring this up, but bears and I traditionally do not get along.
You were fought bears. You lived. Good for you. Fear will keep you respectful should you find Storvacker. You will be fine.
So you're saying she's friendly? Do you have any members of the hold searching for Storvacker?
The hold is already fearful. A great hunt for our hold beast would show weakness to the Hakkonites. If she were dead, the augur would know. So the hunters watch for tracks. That is all we can do.
The way you asked us to help find Storvacker made it sound like you were willing to break your oath.
I could say that Avar hold all oaths sacred, that no true Avar would break them. It would be a good lie. Lowlanders doubtless say the same of themselves. A cunning thane can find a hole in the tent of any promise. A place for the cold wind to sneak in. We are bone and blood. Oaths last until they are broken.
That's a cool line.
If I find your bear and you break the oath, what happens to Stone Bear Hold?
Other holds share oaths with the Jaws of Hakkon. They are sworn to defend or avenge them. If the Hakkonites were friends, they would attack us. But they are friends to few. We will send offerings, trade, and gifts to pay the price of oath-breaking. The storm will pass. I do not do this lightly, Inquisitor. But the Hakkonites are tiresome.
I'm a little confused about why I have to find a bear in order to gain the support of your tribe.
Storvacker is not a bear. She is our hold beast. She ties us to the gods. Without her, I have heard your elf gods turned from you. Is that not a bad thing? It is as that.
I like that.
I know more of this world than the world of spirits. Speak with our augur if you would know more. They're our gods, not yours. For you, it is enough that Storvacker matters to us.
Something that I really hate about, and I mean, it's there for a reason, but something that I really dislike is the investigate options that are so ignorant. Because it's like, obviously we know why the bear is important to as a player because we're listening. But then just like even the option to be like, why am I getting a bear for you? I hate that. And it's my own fault for clicking on it. But I always get curious as to how the conversation's going to go. It's just kind of, whenever it's there, I'm like, for someone who is, for the most part, exhausting as much dialogue as they can in these situations, I'm like, don't want to ask that.
I was told I needed your permission to borrow a boat from the fisherman.
Ah, Rolfson. He worries like a scared baby goat. The boat is yours. Tell him I said so.
Nice. Easy permission.
I will speak with you later.
Ask those in the hold about Storvacker. They may know something they have not told me.
I asked Mum, and Mum said that I can go on the boat. Mum said it's my turn on the boat. Alright, let's have a look. Storvacker. Cool. This is where we should have the Avar Nug mount through this area, right? She is the hold beast of the Stone Bear Hold. All other bears in the area are mere imitations. Storvacker. How do I even begin to explain Storvacker? Storvacker is flawless. She has 2 ancient elven trees for claw sharpening and a silver honey dish. I hear that her claws are valued in Denerim at 10,000 sovereigns. I hear that she sells her shed fur to Orlesian master weavers in Valrio. Her favourite story is Hard in Hightown. One time she met Alistair Theron, fabled warrior of the 5th Blight, and he told her she was pretty. It's so weird seeing Alistair's last name. One time she clawed me in the face. It was amazing. From Ruminations upon the Avar and Their Customs by Reginald de Gorge. Amazing. Hard in Hightown, favourite book. But of course. Okay. Now we are here, and we've got Storvacker caged to have some inquisitive questions. I'm liking the details that are revealing themselves on this map as well. Thane Svara Sunhair. This appears to be an unfinished letter. The handwriting is simple, and the text has many phrases crossed out. Lowlanders, if you be brave enough to... Orlesians, if you be brave enough... Merchants of Orlais, if... To those who wish to trade with Stonebear Hold, you should know me. I am Thane Svara Sunhair. I am Thane Svara Jane's daughter, known as Sunhair. Though my blade has tasted battle tears many... Though my blade has tasted blood many... Though I have fought many battles, I wish no conflict between us, but instead trade between our hold and yours. We have furs and leathers that put your lowland hides to shame, plus weapons that have tasted Hakkon's winter. We have furs and leathers that will make your warriors look strong and your lovers look supple, plus weapons. We have excellent furs and leathers and weapons like none seen in the lowlands. Trade honestly and well, and there will be coin for all. Cheat us and your blood will... trade honestly and well, and there will be coin for all. Thane Svara Sunhair. This is a fool's task. What lowlander would come this far for furs they have not seen? Ah, Korth, I just wrote that instead of saying it. This stupid lowland writing vexes the mind. The rest of the letter is a series of angry sketches of axes. Amazing. Sketches found in a meat shop. A series of drawings, simple but artfully rendered, indicates that the owner of this meat shop decided to spend the day mixing alchemical potions, or more likely alcoholic drinks, and that people should take what they like and pay him later? Okay. Oh. Oh, you're right here, though. No? Will I get in trouble for releasing the nug? On Avar cuisine, what is thrown into the Avar's cockpots? What isn't? Far from the delicate creams and sauces of Valrayo, or the rich pies and ripe cheeses beloved in Ferelden, the Avar must subsist on whatever their mountain valleys provide. Nothing is too humble for their appetites, from the small, succulent snails found on hillside boulders to fern fiddleheads harvested in the spring. This is not to say the Avar do not dine on more dangerous, but far more filling fare. Harts, rams, gurguts, and lurkers are all candidates for communal evening meals taken around the fire. Lowlander spices, while not unknown, are great delicacies reserved for feasts. In fact, my parting gift to the Thane of Fennec Toothhold was, at his request, 10 jars each of black peppercorns, powdered mustard, and Antivan cordseed. Avar cooking methods favour utility. Stews are common because they can be simmered until nightfall with small fuss. Holds by lakes or rivers will wrap fish in clay and pungent leaves and leave it to bake all day over banked coals. Most of our food preparation, however, centres around winter. From the spring thaw onward, the hold is an endless hive of activity as meat is smoked, vegetables are pickled, and fruits are dried and stacked in crude dirt cellars in preparation for the long dark. Despite this race against the seasons, the Avar freely leave out rich cuts of meat and piles of plump berries on wood and stone slabs around their village. They believe these offerings propitiate a strange collection of beings they refer to as gods inhabiting the forest. The wise traveller attempts not to judge, and I was treated with all care due a guest, but I never became accustomed to the sight of good food left out by such a practical people. Should we release the nug? Oh god, why does it... What the fuck? Why was it, like, Did it fart?
Catch anything today?
Why did it do that? Why was there orange dust? Oh no. It's not following me, is it? Oh no. Have I made a I've made a crucial mistake. Alright guys, we've got a secret Nug companion. Cassandra, would you like to volunteer to kiss the Nug? Perhaps it is a prince. Oh no. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. A tier 3 rare herb that I don't know if I've actually gotten. There's some good stuff here.
Do you ever take off your armor and talk to it?
No.
It might say something nice.
What? Cole, what are you saying? Take off your armor and say something nice to it. Yes, this is my possessed armor.
The jaws of Hakkon keep. Rat things with frost dripping from their claws.
The naming of Stone Bear Hold. It starts with a man, Avar Jerickson, driven from their hold by war and misfortune, their thane dead. Avar led what remained of his people through the mountains. The winter was harsh, the winds of Hakkon echoed through the peaks, the beasts fled and the hunters could find little game. Avar's people grew weak, they feared themselves cursed. When the blizzard struck, they built a meager fire and huddled for warmth. When the blizzard lasted 3 days, they knew that they would die. On the third night, while Avar stood watch, he caught sight of a great grey bear through the snow. Though the beast was distant, Avar could feel its eyes upon him and knew he must follow. Alone, he made his way through wind and snow. The great bear walked ahead of him, always distant but never out of sight. At last, the bear stopped. Avar came to stand beside the bear and saw before him a sheltered place where his people might be saved. He reached out a hand to his guide, but instead of fur, he found a grey stone. So Avar knelt before the stone and gave thanks to Korth, for he knew the Mountain Father had taken the form of a bear to guide him here. Avar returned to his people and led them to the sheltered place. Avar Jerickson became Avar Snow-Favored, and the people swore to honor him as their new thane. The hold was given the name Stone Bear in honor of Avar's vision, and in this place we have grown strong. That's cool.
I have. Augur says it's bad magic.
Finn.
Inquisitor, I'm honored by your visit. I'm Finn Coldenson. Forgive me if I don't stand to greet you properly.
Okay. Fake name?
How were you injured?
A storm blew up a few months back. It's the worst we've seen in a while. I was helping to secure the fishing boats. Einar nearly fell in. I caught him, but the current caught me. My leg got crushed against the rocks. It hasn't set properly.
You seem troubled. Is it your injury?
In part. Gyda Meardotton prepares my father's body for sky burial.
Hurt and harrowed, knotted and nameless. Can't be him, could never be him. But who am I?
How did... Yes. I knew it would be soon. I miss him.
I'll let you rest.
Lady keep you.
Lady keep you. Okay. Are you not the person I'm supposed to speak to? Oh, you.
Inquisitor, you've need of a hunter, or you're just wandering? Doubt you lowlanders see many holds, but I'll tell you, there are none finer.
I assume you go hunting yourself.
Of course I do. Who says otherwise?
No one.
I lead our hunts, Inquisitor. My leg aches. One eye can't see in the dark. And I bring more meat than anyone in the hold. Goat's piss, do I hunt?
Goat's piss?
A yes would have been fine.
Suppose you can't help Lowlanders' manners.
Do you have any idea where Storvacker has gone?
Our hold animal's a hungry one. She might be after the game in the valley to the west. As the weather's turning, I'd not think she'd roam further.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Okay. Well, we only had to speak to one of them.
Be welcome, Inquisitor. Though I fear I've time for little more than a greeting. I must prepare these souls for their greater journey, particularly those who depart without the reverence due. Their way is often hardest.
I'm not familiar with Avar funerals. May I ask what proper rites entail?
When the time comes, we are given sky burials. For most, the body is laid out and prayers given. When the birds come, they carry the soul to the Lady of the Skies. The body, unneeded, is gone.
For most?
Some souls, such as Calden's, are chosen to return. The augur reads the signs of birth. It is a rare honor. In order to return, an offering is made to Korth the Mountain Father and buried beneath the body. A piece of the soul thus remains, allowing the rest to return to this world and be reborn.
Will someone not be given proper rites?
Calden Enverson is one of the few whose soul may return. Bloodkin must make an offering to the Huntmaster, who prepares it. Or so it should be. Calden's son, Finn, has failed in this duty, but then there's you.
Me?
You're a guest of our hold. A gift from you cannot be refused. Even an offering for Calden. I cannot dictate the nature of a gift, but if my suggestion appeals to you, speak to the Huntmaster.
Interesting.
Calden's son is injured. It's not his fault he can't make the offering.
As disappointing as that may be, it is not my place to ignore the gods' laws on a whim. I honor them in word and spirit, Inquisitor.
You suggested a way around tradition by letting me make the offering.
The spirits have seen Finn fail. To undo it may be to undo their will. A gift from another does not bear this weight. Calden's soul could travel easily.
Okay.
I should be off.
Lady keep you.
Okay. Speak with the Huntmaster. It do be ringing in this place. And then... Arena grounds. How did those people get up there? What the fuck? How did they do that? They're so far.
Inquisitor?
I spoke to the woman preparing bodies for funeral. She said I might make an offering. For Calden.
How would... As a gift? Sly woman. In that case, I'll accept an offering from the hand that gives it. Tradition says the offering's made to Korth. Only creatures who touch the god's realm will do. I'll mark where some were last spotted. It'd be an unmatched gift, Lowlander. I still pity Calden's son, though, losing his father's name.
Oh, okay. That's why he struggled to introduce himself before.
What do you mean?
Finn failed to complete the rites. That'll see him disowned when the burial's complete. He's fatherless whether you do this or not, Inquisitor. Seeing it done will give him some peace, I imagine.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Fade-touched creatures killed. So those are the creatures...
I have considered what you said about Lord Seeker Lambert, Cole. If it's true, then perhaps he deserved to die. Though it need not have been you who killed him.
He would have hurt people.
It is not that simple.
Why not? He made Templars see monsters instead of mages, made them push until it all fell down.
We thought Lambert was assassinated. It made the rebellion worse, and many people were killed.
But not by him.
It's a struggle to get Cole to see different perspectives because of how he's viewed it and experienced it. And it's amazing that we've had a very consistent dialogue about it between Cassandra and Cole. Because I don't think we've had Cassandra and Cole out in the field together, so that's really cool. This is terrifying. So yeah, the creatures that have touched the gods. Fade touched. Tale of Ice Troll. Tremble at the ice troll Hurungar. Guard your gaze against his wrath. Dead to dreams as dwarves below us, fools in folly block his path. Weapons weeping of our warriors struck to seek their legend mark. Fed not fortune, but the lady, folly fallen in the dark. Dead to Hurungar's fury freezing.
Strange that the veil seems so thin here. A great many spirits must have gathered in this place.
They came close to listen and stayed.
Ooh. All right, you two, settle down.
So, come to test yourself.
How so?
Our warriors want your measure, Inquisitor. Bring us an offering, and we'll let you fight Hakkon's trials. Stonebear Hold would know if the spirits favor you. So would I.
Okay.
Do you run this arena?
I do. I'm called Hakkon. I prepare warriors for the gods. Truly, I drill it into young heads that no one's born knowing how the axe swings or the arrow flies.
What do you mean, prepare your warriors for the gods?
As we train, the gods see us become worthy.
Worthy of what?
A second strength when you most need it. A glimpse that spots a blade at your heart. Warriors must show their will for these gifts, and the will for practice.
Interesting. You draw in spirits influenced by these ritual battles to aid you during real conflict.
Didn't I say as such?
Yes, but... Of course. My apologies.
Solus was like, actually, never mind.
What is this trial, exactly?
Battle against our best. Wit and muscle, and steel against steel. Not to death, just surrender. In case you're afraid.
That's a relief. Wouldn't want to widow the entire village.
Oh, I like this. Bring the stomach to match those fine words.
Why do you pray to Hakkon when his fanatics cause you so much trouble?
Hakkon Wintersbreath could be testing us through those fanatics. He can be a cruel god, Lowlander. He'll favor the victor and no other. Strength to strength. If the jaws of Hakkon tried to raid us, we'll feed their scraps to the bears.
Can we begin this trial of Hakkon?
We need an offering from you first. To honor Hakkon and the dead.
Okay, I gotta make a thingy.
Farewell.
Safe journeys.
So we... Oh, okay. Requisition and offering. Alright, we'll go to the requisition table. We'll do that. Let's, we can't travel to Astrariums, no. I can travel here, and we can go and do some fade-touched creatures, one of. Make our way up here.
So, Seeker, your Inquisition grows.
It was never my Inquisition, Solas.
You did the brutal, thankless work of putting the wheels in motion. Do you feel no regret at letting that power pass to another?
I did my part, but the power you describe was never mine to carry. I know myself, and I cannot be the leader we need. Thus, I have no regrets.
You surprise me again, Seeker.
Your opinion of me must be very low for me to surprise you so often.
Not low, but realistic. Very few, however honorable, release power they have won.
Interesting perspective. Okay. Okay. It's like you must think that I'm dog shit. Ooh, a swift great axe is going straight to Ironball. This blade of this axe cut the air smoothly, almost eagerly. I've bought the Dal Valison for Sarah as well, giving her a better bow. The fabled elven smith Tanaleth of Hallamshara once made bows for the Fade Hunters, those emerald knights tasked with protecting the Dalish kingdom from Maleficarum and demons. And the knight's hunting blade. This fine old Orlesian blade appears to have been forged for wyvern hunters, though it lacks a maker's mark.
These bones were part of a sacrifice. The jaws of Hakkon placed a powerful spell here.
It could be blood magic. Let's look for any more skulls.
Look at the ground. Someone fought a beast here. It could be the Avar bear. There's no corpse. The bear must be nearby.
Okay, let's go and take a look. We got some veil fire. Oh, I heard voices. Okay, we need a rogue for all of these. Good thing I've got one. Oh, hello?
Your elbow made him smile.
Who are you talking about?
The blacksmith's apprentice. He repaired the armor. He was too shy to ask you if you were satisfied. He saw you smile as you tested the joint. It made him happy.
It was fine work. I will remember to thank him when we are back at Skyhold.
My elbows don't make anyone smile.
Cole. Everybody smile at Cole's elbows. What is this? Ooh, we got a staff, a scepter of Razikale. The ancient priesthood of Razikale, old god of mystery, once carried staves like this one as badges of office. Not bad at all. Let's take a look, because that is an upgrade. We'll give that to Solus. Doesn't have the corrupting rune, but that's okay. We have matching staffs now. Amazing. So they've got the same top to it. Oh, there's the bear. Be with you in a moment, bear. We are unlocking things. Mysteries of the Frostback Basin. A voluminous pile of notes and observations, half diary and half research notes. These parchments have no clear order if they ever did. At the top, someone has written observations of the mysteries of the Frostback Basin and their hidden connections to the great secrets buried by the ages. Secret prisoners of Tevinter. Long ago, this would have been under the water until the Tevinter drained much of the swamp cooled Sotten to build this prison. Why make a jail so remote for prisoners they wish to hide? Tevinter has made war on Ole many times, but I now believe there is also a secret war between them that the common people are not allowed to see. This prison is a remainder of the secret war that continues in our time. I speak of Ole's attempts to rouse the Snake Kings of the Earth against Tevinter's alliance with the Moon Men. This is explained in Sir Yick's pamphlets, of which I have read many, which explains things such as why the snake appears in Tevinter drawings, and how the Snake Kings came to exist. Crystals. Did Moonmen have their Tevinter allies keep the reptilian ones here so they could interrogate them at their leisure? None can say, but I will say yes, as that would fit my theories. Someone has sketched landmarks on the back of one of the papers, a crumbling Tevinter wall standing in a shallow marsh, an island in the middle of a river, something that looks like a Tevinter prison, and a small Tevinter outpost with a terrace on one side and a metal sculpture in the courtyard. There you go. And a belt of grenades. Alas, I still do have a balefire torch. Okay. Bear freed. What now? So we gotta walk it out of here? Okay, the bear is free! Nice. We do have a Veilfire torch though, so I'm gonna look around for a rune.
Are you well, Cole?
Well-wishing, waiting for once. Clean and clear, uncluttered.
I am glad to hear it.
Can I help you? You healed my hurt, but yours is old inside, vast across the veil.
I am fine, thank you. There are others who need your help more urgently.
Yes.
Wow. Vast across the veil. That's an interesting statement. Same way that fucking Kieran was saying weird stuff to our character as well. I think those are statements that are more related to perhaps the pain and suffering of elves in general. Kind of gives me that same sort of feeling. I could not find a use for the Veilfire torch, so I fast traveled back to the camp, and apparently it's come with me, which is kind of funny.
Goat-kissing, blood-drinking, Hakkonite chicken crabs! Thank you, Inquisitor. Storvacker has returned. My hunters saw what you and she did to the Hakkonites who held her. In trapping Storvacker, the jaws of Hakkon broke their peace oath with Stonebear Hold. Our blades are yours.
Nice.
I assume your bear is all right after whatever they were going to do to her.
She is fine. As for what they were going to do, my hunters brought items back from where they held Storvacker. I know what they intended. It is not something you will like. Something few Avar would tell Lowlanders. But you must hear it. The jaws of Hakkon sought to bind their god in mortal form and bring war to the lowlands.
Wow.
By saving your bear, have we put an end to their plans?
Though you have given them pause, they will try again. Ages ago, the old jaws of Hakkon did the same. They brought their god to life to destroy the lowlands. Their foolishness lost Hakkon to all Avar. Now they would free him and begin again.
So is this like the Avar's sort of form of like a blood magic ritual to like summon a spirit or a demon and bind it to something?
What did you mean when you said that their foolishness lost Hakkon to all Avar?
When they bound Hakkon to mortal form, he became blood of this world. He could hear no prayers, nor speak to the augurs. All he could do was kill. Then he vanished instead of dying, as though rendered mute, lost for ages. If they sought to free him from mortal form, I could understand. Making him attack the lowlands is a fool's work.
The Avar wouldn't like the idea of war with the lowlands.
Is that what your skalds say? It does us no harm to be feared. If our land is threatened, we will happily fight. And a raid here and there keeps both sides sharp. But we have no need of your lowlands. Not when our goats are fat and our fish are plenty. And not when the sky is torn with demons. Only a fool fights in a burning boat.
What would happen if the Jaws of Hakkon succeeded in their plan?
Hakkon would come to the lowlands in the form of a great beast. The Hakkonites would join him, their numbers swelled by foolish young warriors dreaming of honor names. Even if war were needed, it should not be like that. With gods wreaking havoc in blood-soaked fields, the gods should stay where they belong.
Based on what we know, what must we do to stop the Jaws of Hakkon?
Their hold is an old lowlander fortress. It is shielded by a great wall of ice. Magic even the Hakkonites do not know. Unravel its magic, and we will scatter their bones so the lady never finds them.
We still need a way to melt the wall of ice around the Hakkonites' fortress. Do you have any ideas?
No. It is lowlander magic and nothing to do with us. Our spirit talkers are useless as battle goats. The Hakkonites must have found the magic in the old fortress. Speak to your people. Perhaps they will know more.
I will speak with you later.
Walk with the lady's blessing.
Okay, completed. We're going to head back to Skyhold because we got some operations available. So we'll check in with our crew of what they've done and maybe set them to work on something else. And then that'll be the end of this episode. That is all that my voice can manage for today. I had to do a lot of reading and my voice feels stressed. So I will leave it for now. Look at this fancy pants Grey Warden armor. Hello? This dwarven Grey Warden here or what? The fuck? Hello? Interesting. Inquisitor. Alright. Time to check the war table. Elia's song is all too quick forgot, and at a word her patrons turn aside. There we go. Greatest hits weapon. Cool. Alright, so we've got send relics to Theater Bright Axe and send Skywatcher to Stone Bear Hold. Okay. I'm gonna have Josephine deal with this.
Inquisitor.
And then hopefully Liliana and Cullen can do these two. Skywatcher, the Avar healer we encountered in the fallow mire, is evidently respected across many holds as a wise and practical man. He has expressed an interest in seeing Stone Bear Hold. Having him pay the hold a visit on behalf of the Inquisition might garner more respect with them. That's cool. Let us send Skywatcher as an honored guest, and Skywatcher is from a different hold. Some friendly competition of test and strength will bring both sides together. Okay, and relics. The Avar of Stone Bear Hold greatly respect Theater Bright Axe, the legendary founder of the Avar. An earlier search located the spot where many of her possessions were left. Her body, of course, had been destroyed in accordance with how the Avar deal with their dead, while her weapon, apparently a mage's staff rather than an axe, may no longer be available. I have it. Stone Bear Hold would likely appreciate other relics found at the site. Burial site is undisturbed except for the staff we removed. Let us tell the Avar where the site is so they can find it themselves. It shows our respect for their culture. And then the Avar respect gifts. If we present Theater's relics with ceremony, they will be grateful. This is an interesting choice because we can be like, hey, here's the site, but I took one of the thingies. Does that show respect for their culture though? Because it'd be like, hey, we kind of took this relic for ourselves. Here's where the rest is. Meanwhile, Josephine is like, here's the stuff that we found. And presenting the gifts, and they're not able to decline gifts, right? That's what they said. So I'm actually going to save that for Josephine. And we'll have Cullen do this one.
All right.
They're just some quick operations. So Liliana can do nothing for now. And with that one, we'll be bringing this episode of Dragon Age Inquisition to a close. So we're engaged with the Frostback Basin DLC. Brand new area and things for us to explore. And while I end this episode, I will state that with the length of the playthrough at the moment, the fact that we still have a lot of other things to do with side content and gathering things and doing some quests is I may take an Inquisition break shortly, and that might be maybe like a week or two, depending on how I feel. I would just like to recharge myself a little bit on Inquisition because it's been just a lot consistently, a lot of busy work to do. So I might take a little bit of an Inquisition break. We'll see how that goes, but that's just me throwing it out there, you know? The greatest hits. There's a set list etched on this sword, and the hilt has been signed by several people with atrocious penmanship, one of whom spells his name with an exclamation point. 203 DPS. Wonderful. The Songwriter's Sword. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'll see you next time.